The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
EMissy K Show. EMissy K Show. EMissy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio, here we go. Hey, it's EMissy K. Hey, it's EMissy K. Her beauty and passion, talk music, passion, loose lips, red cup, love Jones. She's always on Facebook, Instagram, taking calls on the telephone. Sexy if you say so. It's the EMissy K Show. EMissy K. EMissy K Show. Clear channel on your radio. EMissy K Show.
She's back.
Yes.
Welcome to the EMissy K's Loose Lip Show. I'm your host, EMissy K.
Yes.
And welcome all my ladies. Starting over here with
Lady D's. Good evening, everyone.
my mama.
And she fine, too.
Ain't she?
Yes. Super fine.
Guys.
Lala.
Thank
Voila.
Hey.
And over here, let me tell y'all who this woman is.
Yes, let's go.
I
infamous.
think the world of this woman.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been in the presence of somebody like I know you have Will Downey, you know, and it's like no matter how many times you're in his presence, that same nostalgia is still there.
Oh,
and every day that I'm with you, I still feel that same way. You are so awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and you guys are going to find out just how awesome she is if you don't know.
Yes.
This is OG Poetess.
Hey.
The Poetess, a.k.a. Felicia Morris. Look, her real name is the a.k.a.
Right. I put that in an email the other day because someone go, "Is this the Poetess?" I go, "Yeah, AKA Felicia Morris."
So she's gonna be our guest host, and then we're gonna get to know the Poetess then and now, and we're gonna get into all that later on today.
All let me know.
Right now, I want to pay homage to a rapper that we lost this week.
Yes.
Badass DPG.
Let's go.
I had the pleasure of working with him on a couple of concerts in Hollywood when I first started in the business, and he was just such a cool person.
Right.
And so I want to send our condolences to his friends, family, and everyone who loved him. So with that said, Lala,
Ooh, yes.
what's on everyone's lips?
Lala, of course, this wine. You know, every weekend or every week.
Just every weekend.
Earl
Every
Stevens.
week.
No more. Give me your glass.
I need to be greeted.
Earl Stevens. Love it.
Shout out to Earl Stevens,
Yes.
Black-owned
Yes.
wine.
Really
Not
good.
only
I like
is
it.
he an rap mogul, but
Yes.
he's also an entrepreneur in the
Yes.
wine business.
Yes,
So
he is.
we thank him.
Yeah, next time bring
Yes,
some
we do.
Chardonnay.
You know what? Well,
I
we can
think
talk
he
about
has
that.
some other, like, this is the red. It's got I gotta get the proper name, but it's the red version.
It's like a cab or something. Cabernet.
like it.
It's not too sweet. It's not too
sweet.
They're all
It's
good.
not too sweet.
I
I
like
like
it.
when it's not too sweet.
I love him too.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
So we'll be
anywho.
talking about football. 49ers is actually doing pretty good. They lost
They lost their
last
first
game.
one.
They lost the first one. They're actually doing really, really good. Our Saints lost the game.
Yeah. Wait, you said the
Of course they did.
49ers?
49ers, yeah.
Aren't they like, what are we
It's
at? 8 or 9?
8-1.
Did they lose? They lost the last
They lost
game?
the last game, yes. They lost the last game.
I fell
To the
asleep.
Seahawks.
Oh, yeah, of Georgia to the Seahawks. It was a good game, though. Definitely a good game. Definitely a good game. But in the news now, we have Kaepernick.
Yes.
So he'll be training at the on the practice field in Atlanta on Saturday. Mm-hmm. They normally do it on Tuesday, and they wanted to do it on Tuesday, but they're saying, no, we're going to have it on Saturday. And they're like, okay, so everybody's going to be traveling because the game is like the next Sunday. Right. So people are thinking like, okay, so is this just so he can be out there and everybody can calm down, or because Jay-Z, you know, he has a deal with the NFL and maybe if he had a little say in it. But I'm thinking maybe because of the deal he had with the NFL, maybe he could have said you were going to come back at a certain time in 2020. We don't know. People are still speculating on it. My question is, are we still kneeling? Are you guys still kneeling? Or did you guys just want him to play football? What was actually really going on? Because it's so many different things that has changed. We wanted everybody to know about, you know, the injustice that was going on with our black men, because that's why he was kneeling, had nothing to do with the flag. And then when Jay-Z signed a deal with the NFL just so, you know, to make business moves, whatever, we don't know what actually happened. Then everyone was getting upset with him. And then it was like, okay, no, we want him to have a job back. So I'm confused. Which one was it?
I don't care as long as they bring him back.
I need the facts on that. I'm not really sure if Jay-Z really did that or if that was part of the deal or whatnot. But because it's just like, okay, so it's gone on 2 years he hasn't played.
Yeah,
and
3 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Jay-Z gets in the mix and it's all good. I mean, that just sounds too good to be true.
I don't know, because he, Kaepernick said that he had been training for the last 3 years so that he is prepared for his comeback. So I think it's something that's always been in the works. And my thing is this, people have protested in sports in their own way for so many years. So it was a frivolous reason to, you know, kick him out. Right. So, in so many words, in the first place. So I don't think that it's unrealistic for him to come back. I know it's kind of hard for them to come back, you know, to allow him back if they have to dish out all that money, you know, and now they got to pay contracts out to him too.
But it depends on what it entailed on him settling like that. I don't think
we'll never know.
Well, you know what? I think part of it is that Kaepernick truly loves the game.
Yes.
Like, I even saw his tweet, I think it was today or yesterday, about how he's been waiting for this moment for 3 years. So he's still been working out. He's still been, you know, training and all that. So I felt like when Kaepernick was protesting, and a lot of us didn't have his back. You know what I mean? They still criticize him. It's like, no matter what we do, it's never enough in our community.
That's what we do.
So, but I was in 100% support of Kaepernick and still am. I hope he does what he wants to do. If he wants to play the game, let him play the game without criticizing him. He sacrificed a lot. You know, so
I'm excited for his comeback.
I am too.
If he come back, or if it's just for show. So if he does, that would be definitely
Mike Tomlin.
Interesting.
Hey, let me talk to you.
What else we got, Lola?
So I want to know: do you have any young boys in your family, like between like the age 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah.
Any boys? Now, like right now? So what are they doing? I want to know, like, what is their normal day of activities? What are they doing?
They're just playing. Most of them are still into, you know, video games, depending on how their upbringing is.
Right.
I was about to say it's kind of dictated to the household, you know, and what goes on and does not go on in the household.
They're still playing games. By the time they're, you know, 6, 7, they're starting to play sports. I know mine did.
Right. That's what mine
did too. So it just depends.
Any of your boys wanted to know about polishing their nails or anything? Or inquired about polishing their nails?
So check this out. So I know where you're going with this.
Go ahead.
And I actually saw Alicia Keys' video on this.
Yes.
And so I want to play it. Because you know I don't like mincing people's words.
Of course. Let's go.
So,
can we play
LaRon,
it,
let's go.
The other day I went to the nail salon with Genesis. He's in the chair and he's like, I want rainbow. So he tells the lady that he wants rainbow colors on his nails. And she brings all of these colors and she paints each nail a different color. And after he painted his nails, he looked at me and said, Mommy, I don't want this on my nails. And I was like, why? You were so sure you're good. And he was like, people are not going to like it. Can you believe this? 4 years old. He's 4. And he already understands the concept that someone's going to judge him because he chose rainbow color on his nails. And I told him, why? Nobody's going to judge it. They're going to love it. It's so cool. Like, look how creative you are. Look how amazing you had this idea. Stick with it. You chose it. You liked it. You do it. Who cares what anybody else says? And so I said, plus, you know, a lot of guys paint their nails. This is not like some strange thing that you only do. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, so many. And that made him feel better. But it just got me to thinking how completely judged we are all the time. The way I see it is that there is masculine and there's feminine energies inside of us all, you know, and that's period. That's just how it is. And it gets concerning to me that we can't just explore these different sides of ourselves, you know, these different energies that are within us. And even for me, myself, you know, I oftentimes express the masculine energy that's inside of me. And it's very natural to me. That's how I feel. And all the time, if that happens, there's the judgments and there's the stereotypes and there's all the energy that comes toward that. And for my boys, you know, similar. If they want to express the feminine energy that's inside of them, there's all these judgments and all these rules and stereotypes and vibes. And it's really frustrating to me. I'm actually really, really frustrated about it. And I ask myself, why is that? Like, why can't we just express?
Her ass is crazy. First of all, she's comparing them to men. Mm-hmm. Men who are grown and decide that this is what they want to do and they're comfortable with whatever sexuality that they're going through. And a lot of times, rock band members, they do this little costume type deal. He's 4.
Okay.
And he even felt hesitant about doing it.
Exactly.
So he really didn't want to do it.
He wasn't comfortable.
Right. I felt like she kind of pushed him to do. Oh, it's okay. Go ahead. Like everybody, he already felt that it wasn't right to him. Like if she had to go through all that to get him to polish his nails rainbow, then he I don't think the kid really. That's why he was hesitant. Like I don't think I should be doing it. Right. You know.
Right.
But I agree with her. I agree with her on the other hand too, as people should be free to express themselves.
True.
Like, they shouldn't have to hide. It would be cool if we lived in a world where people can truly be themselves as long as it ain't harming nobody and whatnot. But he's 4 years old and he already felt like uncomfortable with doing that. He didn't want to do it, I think. In my opinion, I wasn't there, but if she had if she had to go say all of that to make him feel okay about it, then you know.
I just think even at 4, being exposed to so much to where you have to think in your mind, should I do this or not? Because maybe someone might say something to me. He is 4. What happened to him playing in the goddamn dirt? 4 years old, they play with Tonka toys.
They also play with Barbie dolls.
They do, but it's
I mean, it's the same concept to a certain extent.
But they play with the Barbie dolls when they have a sister, and the sister has Barbie dolls, and there was a Ken and a damn. What's the lady name?
Barbie.
Exactly, and they were playing. It wasn't just like, Mommy, okay, buy the Barbie for me.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe
it could have been just attracted to her as a woman.
I have raised a lot of children before I even had children.
Okay.
And I've had little boys that say, Auntie Cousin, can you buy me this baby doll? And I have to explain to them, you know what? No, that's for girls. You know, whatever. You want me to go over here and buy you a little He-Man? We can go get He-Man. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, baby, here, which color you want? You want the one with the tutu? You know, that's what you're saying.
But that is the world we're living in right now. I mean, it has certainly changed from the time we were growing up. But my thing is, let the kid be. If he wants, don't force it on him. Or I even think don't so much super encourage it. But if he wants the doll, I don't know.
What do you say, Lady Dees?
Well, I kind of agree with the fact that, you know, if he wanted to do it and you allowed him to do it, okay, whatever. But at the moment that he was uncomfortable and didn't want to do it for whatever reason, the fact that she encouraged him and talked him into it, I have a problem with.
Right.
Exactly. Allow him to be himself.
Right.
He thought that's what he wanted, and now he doesn't. He should be able to be okay with that and not you talk him into some stuff.
Right.
It's almost like she had to talk him into it and
Yeah.
he wasn't comfortable.
I don't like that.
He probably thought about it and then was like, and then I don't know.
So that's a normal processing going on there.
Right.
And you denied him that.
Okay, so as a mother, what would you have said to your child?
I'm not a mother, so I can't even answer that question. So
we're not doing it. First of all, I'm not taking my son at 4 years old to the thing with me. You got a daddy, go with your daddy.
Okay, so attitude, you just said the same thing. Why was he at the nail shop and not with his daddy?
Where's the daddy at?
Because the daddy was probably working.
But he makes music. My whole problem is allow these kids to be kids.
But his daddy, I think, wears nail. Did she say his
I don't know
dad
about that. I know everybody else
I don't know.
But see, he's producing music with him, and he's doing that type of stuff, and I get it. But he is still 4. Why these kids can't just be kids? Why they have to be so exposed to all this?
Well, because it means so much different. It's so different now.
It is what it is. That's what we have today. It's like, LaRon, put the banner back up and stop talking to Al. LaRon.
Oh, mercy.
Put the banner back up, please. He talking. He wasn't paying attention. So it's just like on the banner, you got A1. You got Snoop Dogg. It's what they see.
Right.
You know, little kids, they watch videos and stuff too.
But I always say exposing them, because I didn't expose all this grown ass shit to my kids. Be a child. Be in a child's place. I remember my mom and my granny and my aunts. There's grown folks talking, sit your butt down somewhere else. That's what they did.
But that's what they did. But things are different now. Time changed. It changed. Everybody don't like change, but it changes. Whether we like it or not, it changes. And the fact that she had her son at the beauty salon with her at the nail shop or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if the father wasn't available and there was nobody to watch him, what you gonna do? You gonna take your child with you and do
she got
what you
got
to do?
She got money.
She got all kind of shit.
So my time is actually
she got nannies. She got somebody.
She got somebody to watch. My question on Facebook actually was, when did we stop raising men? It seems like all we're doing is allowing them to be just feminine. Just you should be comfortable with your feminine side.
Say they.
Well, they. I'll say some. That we actually really stop raising men, young boys to men. I just don't see it at all. Okay, so when we come back, I'm so sorry. This your girl Lala. You can catch me on EMissy K Loose Lip Show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Up next is the beautiful Lady D's, and her segment is Lifestyles According to Moi.
And y'all took 5 of my minutes, so don't be trying to rush me either.
I won't. Sorry.
I'm putting that on the record.
We can go over tonight. I'm on the show.
There it is.
We can go over tonight.
This one said the boss is in the house. We're going over. We'll be right back.
Are you guys sure this is safe? I just gonna put these on, alright? And this is gonna be a real life woman, or what is this gonna be? I'm ready for it.
'Cause what I want is simple.
And welcome back to the EMissy Loose Lips Show. We are still in the presence of greatness.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
The infamous The Poetess.
Hey, hey.
And we had a question from a studio audience. So go ahead and cue our question before we get into lifestyles according to Lady D's.
Question. My question for all four of you ladies. First of all, I want to say I heard what y'all was talking about earlier with the Aaliyah Keys thing, and I think it's very no woman should do that to a little boy.
Okay.
You know, you rarely do you hear goddamn women taking their little girls or men taking their little girls to shave their hair off and look like boys. So I don't know what's up with women who like to make their little boys look like girls by giving them ponytails with their hair and putting different fingernails on their nails and shit. I don't understand that.
So what's your question, Al Toomer?
That being said, as I'm going through some shit now with the female that I'm going through with, I want to ask all four of y'all ladies is it a game? Or is it really, do y'all justify what y'all do when it comes to goddamn being unfaithful to a man based on what a man does?
He switched that.
Okay, turn his mic off because that has nothing to do with the conversation. Let's move on.
That was a freaking setup. That was a setup.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what. Listen, Al.
You cannot hijack our show.
Listen. I'm gonna do this. On Zip Your Lips, I'm gonna give you 60 seconds to talk about that, and we'll address that at the end of the show. Deal?
All right, well, good. You can let me know that when I ask you about this.
Well, I thought it had something to do with the nails. You talk about cheating. Was she eating or cheating? Anyway. Lady D's.
Eating ain't cheating. Go ahead.
Can we go deeper?
Yes,
let's go deeper. I thought that was a little deep.
That was crazy.
Not as deep as you thought. Let's go deeper.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so you all know we've started a series promoting various versions of conversation, and this is the second in the series. In the series. So we're gonna go deeper today, right? So I'm going to ask the panel, what will you never do?
Never.
Ooh. What will you never do?
Never say never.
Yeah, what lines have you drawn in your life?
And what? You got to be more specific.
Oh, no, I don't.
Because we go sex.
Don't try to tell me what to do.
Can you repeat the question real quick?
Never do. What will you never do?
In a relationship?
Lady D's, can you hush? Lady D's, can you hush?
I'm sorry. Go.
Yes. It's your line may be different than hers. Her line may be different than yours. Right. I don't care what it is. What line have you drawn in your life? Okay. What do you say you will never do?
In a
Maybe
relationship?
You've done it before, you will never do it again.
Yes.
In a relationship or just
I don't care if it's your relationship. Okay. I don't care if it's your job. I don't care if it's your church. I don't care what it is.
All right. One. I got mine. You got yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, go la.
Deal with a baby mama.
You ain't never going to deal with a baby mama?
Not ever. She got to be in another state of deceased. I'm sorry.
But you still be dealing with her. You know she's in another state.
No.
Did you say in another state or deceased?
Well, shit. I'm not doing it.
Then she'll be deceased because if she still exists.
I won't have to deal with it.
I'm not.
Just as long as the baby mama's in another relationship and in love with somebody else.
It don't matter because once that end, we got issues. No, we're not dealing with it. I'm just saying.
I agree with you, but I wouldn't say never.
No. I'm saying never.
So if something happened to you and D, and you got with somebody else that blew your skirt up, right?
Okay.
So you're saying you would bypass an excellent relationship
if I had
because
to
he
deal
has
with her?
because he has a child.
Oh no, we talking about not the child, the baby mom. If I had to deal with her, no.
If there's
then it's done. No, I'm telling you, no, because women are freaking crazy.
Men are crazy too.
No. Women are on a whole nother level of crazy when I say baby mom. I'm not dealing with it. It's a whole lot of good men out there ready for me. I'm just saying.
That's her response.
Did she just say ready for her?
No, I'm just saying. I'm
You're full of yourself.
I'm just saying.
That's her number.
I'm not dealing with it. No.
Nobody asked you to clarify over there, Missy K?
No. I'm not clarifying it. I'm co-signing.
You know you butt in.
It's the difference.
What about you, Poetess? They're a hard-headed ass be last.
I hate to say never say never, but never be with someone that's in prison or has been in prison a long number of years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's pretty broad. Mm-hmm. Even if they've...
No, I don't care what they did.
Right.
Like,
long period of time. Yeah.
I will be their friend. I will send them care packages.
Oh, you do
I will.
that?
I might even take a few collect calls, but I will not be in a relationship with someone in prison.
Okay, I get that in prison, but you said that have been to prison, even if
I
it was
won't
for a
say
short period of time.
if it's a short period of time, okay, but if it's 5 years
Like a
or
lifer.
longer,
A decade or less. 5 years.
She said 5 years is too much.
5 years.
Because I don't know. I think that if they're in there a certain period of time, they're engaging sexually with other men, and I don't want that.
What if you was married to him 2
I
years
agree.
before you went in?
Hey, he made a bad choice.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
if that means that choice means losing me, oh well.
Life goes on.
Definitely.
What about you, Missy?
E crazy, man.
Don't let me have to jump across this date with you. I ain't got no time for your shock crap today.
I don't care. We live in a different era.
Right.
And men's idea of fantasies are a lot different than they used to be.
This is true.
You know, used to have the ones just have foot fetish. You know, now they want us to put on strap-ons and fuck them with dildos. And stuff. I will not. I ain't the one.
Can I add one to my list? Can I add one if we only have one?
I ain't doing it. I'm not sticking nothing up your butt. I'm good.
No.
Really? And I'm with the poetess. I don't want a man who's been with another man. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Why does that necessarily mean that he's been with another man?
What?
Because he asked you to do that.
That's true. It may not be the fact. But however, that means that you're on your way. If you ain't been already.
That is so unfair.
Why? You might not like the way I do it. You'd be like, you know what? I need the real thing.
Right, exactly.
It's just a graduation.
You know what? I think that a lot of men have kind of a little.
What
more,
about a finger in the butt?
No, a little more accepting of that because.
Mom, I don't know what's wrong with them.
I didn't draw the line at objects.
Oh my God.
You know they got finger condoms?
They do. You need them too.
Okay.
Oh, that bacteria and E. coli.
Okay, Moms, did we hear what you had to say?
She said equal.
What will you never do, Lady D?
Lady D?
Y'all play too damn much.
Salmonella.
First of all, you narrow-minded ass people.
We asked you to clarify.
That is so. It didn't matter what I clarified because you went beyond that. You went beyond that. And again,
give me a stopping point.
Classify.
You didn't give me a stopping point. Okay.
I'm done.
Can we turn the air conditioner on?
It's on.
Wait a minute. Mommy,
did you mean in the vein of I'm not going to sacrifice my morals? I mean, come on, Lady D's. Give us that wisdom.
That piss me off.
Why? Tell us what you meant.
I don't need to tell you what I meant. You went beyond that and then you started saying stupid shit. It's so closed-minded. I don't mind having a conversation, but this closed-minded BS gets on my nerves.
When you say closed-minded,
you cannot say every man that indulges that way with their woman has been with a man.
No,
that is so
I did not say that.
You did too.
I said he's on his way to graduate.
You said if not, he's on his way. The same thing. I'm done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So what is something that you would never do?
I don't like narrow-minded bullshit.
All I said was baby mama, so
you think it's okay if a guy wants a strap on?
I mean, if he's with his woman and that's what they're doing, it doesn't make him gay.
I'm good.
Men go to the doctor. I think a lot of them don't get repeat prostate exams because they realize when they're doing it that they actually like it because they're stimulating their prostate because that's their prostate.
Fingers
their prostate
versus
it's the G-spot. It's a prosthetic.
It's just like a G-spot.
There, it turns them on, definitely. They use the or the balls on the string. You can put that up and it allows them to come.
Go berries. So.
Whatever.
Okay. Can I add one more to my list?
Yeah.
He got to have a job. He cannot be working.
So you'll never deal.
What if he becomes unemployed?
There's too many hustles out there. I got about 4 or 5 of them. Okay. That's it.
Can I say something?
You say whatever the hell you want to say.
I don't want to put on one with a woman either.
If that makes you feel any better.
Okay.
I'm done.
You didn't close out.
I'm done.
You didn't tell everybody else you were done.
What?
You say it's okay.
Why the hell you back on the mic anyway?
I want sedation.
If your man wanted to take a stiff one up the right.
Whatever goes on in my freaking bedroom, that's what goes on in my bedroom.
Okay. Damn.
That's fair.
I'm
but
not
you
mad.
asked me
I can't say, hey, baby.
When you start categorizing people, yes, you do.
I'm not.
When you start categorizing people,
why is
that's
the problem?
when you
Because
turn me
I
off.
don't want to do a man.
It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Your point is what you said beyond that.
You asked me
beyond that. No, what did you say after that? Yeah, see, you full of girl gonna make me act.
I didn't say everybody can't.
My thing is like, why
it.
would a man want that anyway? Like,
because they want to be stimulated.
Just because.
Okay, finger. Okay, prosthetic.
Sometimes the finger doesn't go far enough. Just like some man's penis doesn't go far enough in a woman to
if he's fat, a finger ain't gonna help him.
Yes.
Especially if he get used to the finger. He gonna need something that goes a little further.
Hey, no finger. I'm not even going with the finger, and I'm only going to warn you one time.
Are you on the freaking mic?
Turn his mic off, please.
I'm only going to warn you one time.
Some butthole they don't want to go in, so don't worry about it. Can you turn? Look.
Okay. He just talking crap. Are you done?
Yes, I am done.
Okay, tell the people bye-bye.
No.
She said no.
Now, please, it's not your show. We're going
to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to go into our interview with the Poetess. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be right back after this break. And welcome back to the EMissy K's Loose Lip Show. We are in the building with the Poetess. Welcome to our show. Finally.
Hey, I'm here.
We've been trying to actually put together a special show, and we're still going to do it.
Yes.
Very soon. But I want to thank you for taking the time out and coming to hang with us now.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
She usually in the back somewhere like, okay, y'all crazy. That was a crazy conversation. Now she gets to actually join in with us.
Yes.
So, Poetess, you have done so much in your career that it would be impossible to talk about everything. But you started at a very young age. Can you kind of just give us a brief summary of how far you've come since the age of 5?
Well, I was on there at 5 because my dad was in radio growing up. So I would go to the radio station and do these little promos. But it would take him an hour just to get me to say 2 or 3 words. But it was when my dad started taking me to concerts when I was like 10 years old. I was blown away by it. And at that point, I knew at 10 years old that this is what I want to be. I want to be in the music business. I want to be a star at that time. And so ever since 10 years old, my journey started. Like when I started visualizing it and knew exactly what I wanted to do, everything that's the path that started opening up for me. Right. So I said, okay, when I'm 18, I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to get in the music business. And that's what I did. Yeah. I did exactly what I told myself I was going to do. And it was a trip because I was going to school and stuff, but I was hanging out with a bad crowd, getting high, chasing boys. I was just doing stuff that could have easily thrown me off my path. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think we all go through that. Yeah, I mean, I could have said, I want to stay here with my boyfriend, because before I left the Bay Area, I had an excellent job working in Silicon Valley. Right at the birth of it, I was working for Stanford Linear Accelerator Center. We crash protons and neutrons. So I was a lab technician, and I had a promising future. I had a promising future in that, but I already knew that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I'm going to do to get me through high school and earn a little money. But even that did not stop me from coming to LA. Yeah. So within your career, you've done radio host, correspondent, just the journalist, real journalism. I remember, don't be offended by it, but I remember, when I was in high school in 94, in the 90s, just listening to your shows on The Beat and on Sirius XM. Actually, that's a project that I worked on with Boeing. But just listening to your shows, they were always so inspiring, for us as a community, because you talked about the gang violence and a whole lot of things, that were going on. You were our female voice, nice. And not just, we didn't have to just listen to, the men back then, I'm Q and all them, doing their thing. We had the Poetess. Oh, thank you. And it was inspiring. Thank you. So, thank you for that. Thanks. So, moving through today, you're still in media. You're still in media, just on the other side of the spectrum. Yes. So tell us a little bit about that. Media, I don't know. It's really, this is my 30th year in radio. And I've always thought radio is congratulations. Thank you. I've always thought radio is the best job in the industry. But it was also a short-lived job. Like, I think the average life of an air personality is maybe 5 years. There's a few that have broken that, like Steve Harvey. You got your Tom Joyners, and Russ Parrs and people like that. But being in that, I had to be multi-skilled. I had to know how to be on the air, not only be on the air, but produce. And I had to know how to edit. Do interviews, and so because I had a few skills, it kept me. It was, I think, part of my longevity. And what I was at the Beat for 13 years. I outlasted every air team, every ownership, and I resigned when I was ready to resign from that radio station. But I think what kept me there so long was I had multi-skills, and I was I was connected to the community.
Yeah.
And when I say connected to the community, not just, local gang members, but the interventionists. I knew the head of the police department, mayors, city council members, and all that, because I was a community affairs director at the station. So they found that to be valuable because they needed a good liaison. So, so that was part of my longevity there, is just having multi-skills and being to where a company really needs you and that you help the company. So when you mentioned journalism, yes, shout out to Sheena Lester, because she gave me my first, I think, writing gig for a magazine, Rap Pages. And then I've written for Vibe, Sheena was there. And then I started writing for radio. I wrote radio shows for MC Light on Sirius XM when it first started. And then I started producing. So you just gotta keep reinventing yourself, or have more than one skill. Even as an artist, I had put out an album. I was the first female rapper on Interscope.
Speaking of which, we're gonna go into a break, and we're gonna go into the crates, and we're gonna see what we got. See what we can find. Ron, what we have for? What you have for?
Oh my God! I only did one video. So.
25% of the couples in this country are estimated to be in violent relationships.
Listen to the hit. Listen to the hit. Listen to the hit.
That is a fact.
Listen to the hit.
Growing up as a kid, I never understood the things my dad did. Like hitting my mother, me and my brother hid. And the father from the cakewalks, the crying and the cussing, the fighting and the fussing. I used to go to bed holding my ears tight, filled with fear when I hear moms and pops fight. I never quite understood what the reasons were. How could he love my mother if he kept on hitting her? I don't know, but what I do know is this: love hurts when it's coming from the throat of the fist. And the list goes on from the mental to the physical. Use of verbal abuse, beat down, that ain't cool. It's bad enough we got it rough in society. Oppression and poverty don't need to be fighting each other. A brother hits a sister, and he's a big nigga. He ain't nothing if he got a hitting kicker. Innocent victim, 3 times smaller in size. Head honcho, macho, and whose eyes? Only a fool tries abuse to utilize physical force to control, hurt, brutalize. Time to change, to rearrange the chain of thought. Avoid your fists and think of the pain that's brought to the hearts of your brother or your sis. Love hurts when it's coming from the fist.
Listen to the hit. Listen to the hit. Listen to the hit.
I wish my step pop would stop hitting on mom. She got
You're so cute.
Rapper.
Yes. Yeah, that's how it started. That's how it started in the business, is being a rapper.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I worked with Def Jeff, and Def Jeff was my my mentor. Taught me how to be a good rapper, because I was hella whack in the beginning. And shout out to Def Jeff for, coaching me and helping me to become a good writer.
Yeah.
And caring about my lyrics. So I did an album on Poetic Groove Interscope. I was at one time label mates with Tupac and Gerardo and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, which is Mark Wahlberg. So that was fun. I mean, I toured. I'd opened up for Queen Latifah. I mean, I've had a super career, and sometimes success isn't necessarily based on monetary value.
Right.
But longevity and the respect that you have amongst your peers, and able to maintain in this business, because it is not easy.
Yeah. I have, I run into a lot of people in the industry, and, you name drop the Poetess, everybody's like, oh my God, I love her. She did this. I worked with her. I produced her. I did it. I'm like, okay. But it's awesome when you have, when you leave such a wonderful legacy, and your legacy is multifaceted.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. So now you found yourself in a place where you're actually giving back, and you're on the other end of the spectrum with our very own studio, Morris Media Studios.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love it. Great experience.
So tell us how you fell into doing starting your own studio and your own network?
I started doing podcasting with comedian Speedy. He was my co-host on the Foxhole. And so we were all let go at the Foxhole. And so Speedy decided that to start a podcast with all the hosts of the Foxhole, which was me, Speedy, TDP, and Claudia Jordan originally. And so that was big. And then we started to where we were having to pay a studio to do our podcast. And I was just like, we should at some point, before I even got to the point where I was wanting to build my own, my father and I were commissioned to build another podcast studio for Herb Hudson, who owns Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Right. So we built our first podcast internet radio studio on Pico, RMC. And when I was unjustly fired from there, I just said, fuck that. I'm not going to work for anyone else.
Well, that's why they're not there anymore.
Right. You know what's funny? And my dad said this, rest in peace, Daddy. He said, whenever you leave a place, the ship sinks. Like every job I have left, they've literally went under months after I left.
Wow.
So that business was never the same. I built that business. And then my dad tried to continue it the best he could, and it failed. So I thought at that point that I don't want to work for anyone else. I don't want to compete for radio jobs. I don't want to fill out a resume or an application. I know what I'm doing. I built a studio before, and I ran it successfully. And so I felt like that was my university, my school, and it was part of the journey of getting me here. I had to learn how to do this, and I had the opportunity to learn to do this. And I said, you know what? I want a studio for my father and I. To give people a voice in the community. Yeah. And man, when I tell you, all I had when I started was my last paycheck and a couple $1,000s saved up. And then I did a couple crowdfunding campaigns because I have fans that have followed us over the years, and they donated. And then I had my former boss, when I was fresh out of high school, gave me a nice check, a nice little seed money.
Nice.
And then shout out to the rapper Kid Ink. Yes. He threw in 10 G's, and then I won a renovation contest. What do you call it? Essay contest through Wells Fargo.
Nice.
And I won another $10,000 renovation. Wow. And so we we upgraded the studio. And so now, by the grace of God and all my wonderful clients, such as yourself, I've been able to maintain for 5 years. And I'm really grateful for that, because it's been a hard 5 years. There's a lot of sacrifice you got to make as an entrepreneur. I'm not able to buy all the stuff I want to or take vacations and do all that. But I know that it's coming.
Yes,
it is. And I'm patient with it, because I already know this is it.
What are some of the shows that you have on your network now?
EMissy K Loose Lips. Al Toomer's crazy ass. And we have the G Spot, which I co-host with the funniest ladies in comedy, Precious and Camilla.
My girls.
We also have Mike Robinson Boulevard, a comedy show. We have gospel. That's another thing I'm going to start building, is the gospel network.
Nice. That's nice.
And I'm drawing a blank now, because we have so many.
And
we have like 30.
Check out the website.
We have like LaRon is definitely like the only hip hop show. We have the only hip hop show with LaRon. We have the music showcase.
Yes.
We have the business zone. Shout out to Crystal and Gilbert. We have Next Level Convo. We have I'm Just Saying with Dion and Melanated Politics. We got sports.
And go check out our website.
Sports Collective TV.
Yes.
Yeah. Go to MorrisMediaLive.com. You'll see the shows that are lined up there, because we are growing, and I'm really happy to say that.
What are some of the amenities that you offer at the studio?
Okay, so at the studio, we do live audio and video podcasting. And in addition to that, we do audio books where people can come in and record their books. We make them Amazon and Audible.com compliant. We also do voiceover, and that's it. And, I get really annoyed.
What about that room right here?
Oh, we have a green room. We have a conference room, and we teach classes. We teach people how to podcast.
Speaking of which, you have a class coming up, right?
We have a class. Oh, you're on point. Okay. Yes, we have a class this Saturday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can go to our website at morrismediastudios.com to register. I'm really happy because everybody leaves that class feeling like they really learned something and confident enough to start their own podcast. So that's great. And then our vision here is to actually make it a broadcast/podcast academy for teens and young adults.
Awesome.
And then grow out and build a credible, polished talk network is the vision.
Love it. And we are on our way.
Yes, we are.
Because we're still along for the ride.
Yes, we are. And I appreciate it because you guys have been with me a couple years now.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, every client is important.
Definitely.
It took me because I am moody and I do have sometimes I don't want to say a bad attitude, but I've learned to be more of a people person now because I have to deal with my clients, and I find that is the key.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I be in my shell. I don't feel like dealing with people because people get on my nerves sometimes. But now that I've changed my perspective and just come from more of a place of gratitude when people are spending their money here, it's and it makes them comfortable. I want people to come here and be comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot as I go, so. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I think it's been a very positive experience for us.
Yes.
Otherwise we would have been gone a long time ago. You're very professional. You're always kind.
Thank you.
And accommodating. I love it.
Thank you.
It's always top notch.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Lala, as an entrepreneur, do you have any questions for the poetess?
No, you know what? Not as an entrepreneur. I was You've said that your dad has been there the whole way. A lot of us, I mean, I won't say us, I know, but a lot of young women don't have that. And it's so important. One of the main aspects of us as we grow in the things that we're doing in life is to have that strong influence, which was your father. Now, do you think any of this would have been possible if you did not have him?
No, because he planted the seed, and figuratively. No, my dad truly is an inspiration for all of this. Yes. I mean, from the time he took me to my first Parliament Funkadelic concert at the Oakland Coliseum in 1977, that was it. And so, and just... Although, my dad never hooked me up with jobs in the industry, but because of who he was and his name and his friends mentored me, his generation. He mentored me. But I always felt like I was kind of the son he's always wanted, even though he has a son. But I was the only one that followed in his footsteps. Right. So my dad was a little bit chauvinist, so you're doing pretty good for a girl. But praise God, I'm so grateful, and I miss my dad. And he helped build the studio.
I was about to say that.
He wired everything up. Right. He made sure everything was rolling correctly. He trained LeBron.
Wow,
and
that's incredible.
So we miss him around here though.
Okay. One more question. Because last week we were talking about how T.I. takes his daughter to the doctors once a year. And for your dad to have been so involved in your life, how do you feel about what T.I. was doing with his daughter?
I think he was overkill, but you know what? Although my dad was my dad, I don't know, it was more of a brotherly sister type of friendship, even though when I was getting a little out of line, my dad put me back. He kept me in check.
Yeah.
But me and my dad's relationship was always one that was just just cool, you know, and we would disagree, and we were so much alike, we would bump heads. But I think what T.I. did was just too much. You got to let your kids be kids, and they're going to do what they want to do, regardless of whether you're checking or not. Yeah. What would he have done if he found something? The hymen?
That was my question. I mean, it's like I said, it becomes a different conversation.
Right. And it could have been broken with a tampon. She could have been masturbating with a dildo.
Yeah, like put it in with the cardboard.
Yeah, so you don't know. That's
really true.
That doesn't really prove anything. She could already be fucking. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay. I'm done.
Go ahead.
P. Okay. Tell us information on where to find you and find the show and stuff, and then we're going to get back into Al's question.
What?
Because we are being courteous to our elders.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay, well, you can find me at OG Poetess or at Morris Media Studios on all the social medias.
Yes.
And we're here in Los Angeles. We're in the community. We're in Leimert Park off Crenshaw and 43rd. We have reasonable rates for people who want to come in and do a podcast. We care about our clients. We kind of guide them when they let us. Some people they don't want the wisdom or the experience.
They got it.
Right.
You
know.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. And you can email me at contact@morrismediastudios.com if you have any questions or interested, or you can attend our workshop this Saturday. So
exactly. Okay. So put the clock on them. 60 seconds. Out Tumor. Tumor Town. Tumor Town. Give him his clock. And 60 seconds. Go, Al.
All right. Well, what I wanted to ask all for it, I'm telling you, that's a beautiful ass panel there. I wish
Thank you.
Goddamn it, I'll dig all y'all down.
Oh my God.
What is that?
I gotta repeat that.
Oh, go ahead.
But ladies and gentlemen, the question that I got there want to ask y'all is, there's a thing about it's victimology, whereas y'all blame the man for, you automatically assume that he's going to fuck another woman. So you just say, I'm going to fuck another man because I think my man is fucking someone else. I mean, can y'all help me with that?
Oh my God.
Okay.
In other words, let me put it just like this, because that was a little bit. In other words, rather for you to just say I'm going to do it, but don't say I only had sex with somebody else because you did this.
Oh, okay. Your time's up. So this is my thing.
You're gonna have to respond.
I'm gonna answer you. I am. This is the thing. You have, if you have a open line of communication with your partner, which I'm hoping you should and you do, because you're talking about cheating and all this stuff, right? And she already assuming that you're having sex with somebody else, and you're assuming that she's having someone else in this situation. Now, this is my thing. You as a man and she as a woman should not trust your flesh in situations and putting yourself in situations where you can, cheat or whatever. The Bible tells us to trust not our flesh. So don't put yourself in those type of situations. And if you're telling me that you're going over here, you hanging out with all these females, they drunk, they this, they that means you don't need to go over there, because your flesh can end up fucking one of them bitches. So I'm going to tell you, both of y'all need to start thinking about your environment, think about the people that you hang around, and stop putting yourself in those positions.
And if she
otherwise,
has that
y'all need to be together anyway. Y'all need to be in an open relationship.
You don't need to be with her if she gonna say I'm gonna screw somebody.
What they say,
poly is a new thing, I guess.
Yeah, do them things. Polyamory, whoever they are, go talk to them. Be them people.
You know what? I want to chime in on that and say that that's probably why most women do cheat, is because they know their man is out. Not think.
Right.
They know their man is out there cheating.
But my thing, go finish. You can finish.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I think that's maybe the number one reason that women cheat is because they think their man is cheating or they know their man is cheating. So
I say opportunity.
Some people just don't cheat anyway.
They just cheat because they want to cheat.
Exactly.
Opportunity.
You think it's opportunity? Exactly. Stop putting yourself in those positions, though. That's my thing.
That's exactly what it is.
Lady D's.
A cheater is a cheater. It's just plain and simple. But I don't think that, to make such a blanket statement is if all women are like that because their man cheats, they go out and try to match them. I, for one, I still have to look at myself in the mirror. Okay? So if I'm in a relationship with you and your behind is out cheating, you can keep doing that. Because I'm taking the next exit.
Right.
So
plain and simple.
So when are you a cheater? Are you a cheater while you're just in a relationship?
Because I was going to say, you got to make sure if you're in a relationship before you can think somebody.
Because a lot of people assume because they've slept with somebody that they're in a relationship, which is not true.
Especially women.
But if you're in a relationship, because I make myself so open, and so that's not something you have to do. If that's what you're having desires to do, then you can talk to me.
Definitely.
And we can come to a conclusion like, okay, you're going to do that and I'm going to wait, or you're going to do that and I'm gone. Well, it just means what we are in the relationship.
I'm going to also just take it back to not all men cheat.
Exactly.
But, hey, we're animals at the end of the day. We're creatures. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's natural. Yeah. When you are attracted to someone, sometimes you can't help it.
Especially when they put it in your face, or they come on to you.
Differentiates us, I hope I said that right, from animals is that we can reason.
Yes.
We can reason, we know right from wrong. So that's when that kicks in. But at the end of the day, sex is natural. It is. And people being attracted to each other is natural. Now, how you act on that is on your opinion.
Because you have a choice, right or wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right or wrong. Which one
I say if you got to lie about it, why the fuck you doing it? That's all I'm saying. Don't lie. If you that type of man and you want to just have sex with Tom, Dick, and Harry, then just say
hopefully
that.
not Tom, Dick, and Harry, but
Sue.
That's the whole problem.
Lisa and Kim, man.
Just say that. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Thank you, Al Toomer. Check him out on Toomer's Town just before
Wednesdays at 6:30.
Yeah, when he's talking about screwing all them women and the white women.
And talk about dicking down the whole panel.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning into our very ghost show.
Yes, it has been very.
We love you guys. Follow us everywhere at EMissy. We up out of here. 2 fingers in the beast.
And not too soon.
Promos. Promo flyers. Let's go.
Thank you.
EMissy K Show. EMissy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio. Here we go. Hey, it's EMissy K. Hey, it's EMissy K. Her beauty and passion, talk music, fashion, loose lips, red cup, love Jones. She's always on Facebook, Instagram, takes calls on the telephone, sexy.